Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin with breaking news tonight. Fires popping up in the area, spreading rural fire departments very thin. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a very busy day for fire crews when 2 fires got out of control. Valley News Team's Macy Enger is live from Glendon, Minnesota with the very latest on a fire in that area. Macy?
Yeah, Stephanie, firefighters are just wrapping up after putting out some hot spots. You can see the damage, though, that the fire did. Right behind me, this barn collapsed from the flames. Now, firefighters actually had to cut a hole in the barn just to get those flames out. Now, firefighters say the homeowner had started a burn barrel fire, which sparked these flames and caused this barn to be destroyed. The home was threatened at one point, but was not touched by the flames. The fire, however, did spread behind this yard, about 200 acres.
The homeowner just burning some leaves, and you can see kind of what happened because of that when the wind came up. And being the red zone that we were put in, I wish people would just pay attention to that and use it, because this was every fire department in Clay County was out here today fighting these fires.
Now, another fire in rural Holly had firefighters scrambling to try to save a home. Firefighters say that started near a shed and quickly spread. Now, officials say they're still trying to investigate the cause of that fire, but some people we talked with say it could have started from the homeowners burning leaves. Now, that wind fueled the fire about 100 acres east of the home, and that's when crews started a backfire to stop it from spreading further. And we have heard that fire has been contained, and it did destroy that shed, but the home was safe. Now, in both cases, these fires were just fueled by the wind we're having. Our meteorologist we talked with today said that we've had sustained 20-mile-per-hour winds with up to 30-mile-per-hour gusts today, and firefighters say both these homeowners should not have been burning in these conditions. Stephanie?
All right, Macy. Now, we also know a red flag warning is in effect, so authorities are saying don't burn, and these winds are not helping firefighters put out the fires. So we're now going to go to Hutch Johnson for much more on this. So, Hutch, when are these fires going to die, or winds going to die down?
Well, we are stuck with some pretty dry conditions, and it looks like our weather is going to be really good for fires to spread. So we have to continue to be vigilant when it comes to burning. Here's a look at our tower cam time lapse today. As you see the dew point relative humidity down around 17%, and look at the smoke rising in the wind and blowing quickly off to the northerly direction. And it's a good thing they got that under control. Now, we do have a chance for some rain tonight. A lot of 80s through the nation's midsection, with temperatures here in the 70s across Minnesota. And look at northwest North Dakota, 60s with rain that's pushed through Minot. Now, it's moving into the Devil's Lake Basin right now, and this could be some very beneficial rain, but it doesn't look like we're going to see a bunch of it. There's some moving into western Stutsman County as we speak. So our western counties will get a drink of water early this evening. It's moving our way late tonight. The red flag warning continues this evening for the valley and western Minnesota. A fire weather watch already hoisted for tomorrow out in the western Dakotas. So the fire danger is going to be with us for a while. Let's hope we can get some raindrops out of this system just to the west.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Hutch. Well, autopsies are scheduled on 2 men who died after an ATV crash just north of Gardner, North Dakota. A neighbor said that they saw the ATV on its side early this morning, made a few calls over to the farm, and there was no answer. After a while, he and his father went over and found the 2 men, ages 49 and 52, and unfortunately, they were cold with no pulse. Cass County Sheriff's deputies and the North Dakota Highway Patrol responded, calling in the Cass County coroner. According to one of the patrolmen reconstructing the scene there, the ATV hit trees in the yard sometime last night. They weren't sure how late. The names of the deceased men have not been released. These unexpected deaths have hit friends and neighbors hard, but everyone is remaining pretty tight-lipped as to what happened right now. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric is going to have much more on this on Valley News Live at 6. Well, many of us look through our mail, throwing away letters that have things like spam in either our email or paper form. But an expert tells us many people are throwing away letters that could be important. We were contacted from a concerned whistleblower. She got a letter about student loans with the word important stamped on the envelope. Couldn't tell if it was good or a scam. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson investigates.
It's kind of scary, like, how am I going to come up with that money?
Graduation day is looming at MSUM. In a couple months, a whole new group of students will be held responsible for their debt.
Probably close to like 100 grand, which is ridiculous.
Letters, emails, and phone calls will be coming. Some bills, some offers, and others scams. So how do you spot them?
Typically, if something is labeled important, then you need to dig a little deeper.
We showed MSUM Financial Aid Director Carolyn Zarin an example of a letter a viewer was confused about.
Cover personal loans, it's not an educational loan.
In this case, it's not a scam. It's a company trying to reduce monthly payments, but Zarin says if you look deeper, your interest rates would go up and benefits of an educational loan would be lost.
Be skeptical about what it is. Go back to the terms of their promissory note, which they have access to. Don't assume anything. Check it out. Call the servicer. Know who your servicer is.
Do you know who your loan provider is?
I don't. Nope, I don't.
No, but maybe I should.
We asked students what they would do with a letter like this one.
I'd probably see that it's important on the top and that, like, you have to do it.
Ask my mom what to do.
If it seems too good to be true, Zarin says it probably is, but do some checking before you toss it.
Buyer be wary, in this case, borrower be wary.
Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
Now, we have much more advice on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story, and if you're a concerned student about this, about your student loan debt, you're really not alone. The cost of an education has soared in the past decade, leaving many young people and anyone not realizing that what kind of debt they're really getting into until they graduate.
It's hard when you're just starting a career and have all those loans to pay right away.
Nowadays, many students can't use summer jobs to cover the cost of a year's college tuition. Interest rates are just one of the many costs that skyrocket loans that students take out. Tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10, we're going to look into why students are getting into so much student debt and if there is a way to get out. A heart-stopping moment for any parent after two children were hit by a vehicle in South Fargo. One of them was taken to the hospital. Emergency responders say it appears the children ran out in front of the vehicle and the 17-year-old driver wasn't able to stop in time. An ambulance took one child from the scene, but emergency responders say the injuries are minor. Well, the FM area says goodbye to a business that has been in our community for more than 90 years. Quality Bakery is now officially closed. Valley News Team's Christy Larson tells us about a very bittersweet last day.
They usually don't let me up front, so it's to come out and actually see it. It's incredible.
Lines went out the door this morning as those with sweet tooths got their last cravings from the closing bakery, a decision that's been long in owner Pete Fent's mind.
I've been looking forward to, the chance to take some time off. So, it's a happy, sad time.
Many people say this is a spot they came to growing up, a piece of Pete and his whole family's heart.
Just about everybody in my family at some time has been, worked in the bakery, so it's part of my whole family's life.
And today, he and his family of coworkers say goodbye.
Reflecting back, I'm going to miss a lot of it. I've been running around taking pictures just so, I can remember it.
But the closing is bittersweet as it gives Pete and his wife, Marcine, more time to spend with both family and friends.
We're looking forward to doing some traveling and taking some time off.
Christy Larson, Valley News Live.
And very well deserved. This morning, we presented Pete with a plaque thanking him for his years of delicious goods and for his volunteer work with Valley Water Rescue. On another note, every piece of equipment from Quality Bakery is for sale right now if you'd like to get a piece. Pete says they have to be out of the South University location by the end of May. A generous donation for the kids at Sanford Children's Hospital from the owner of Paradox Comics and Cards in downtown Fargo. Today, he brought a whole pile of comic books for the children. Richard Early knows that it's what it's like to be in this position because when he was a kid, he spent a lot of time in the hospital too.
It was me and my family, and they would try to provide as much entertainment as they could, try to help me feel comfortable and at home and give me fun things to do. And I think something like comic books is a great way to do that.
And the donation was an early start to Free Comic Book Day. Remember, it's coming up this Saturday. The community wants you to leave your mark. A major sidewalk replacement project is happening this summer in Moorhead, and Moorhead residents are invited to submit original works to be imprinted on sidewalks all throughout the city. The deadline is May 15th. To sign up, head to valleynewslive.com and search for this story. Rescue efforts continue in Nepal following Saturday's 7.8 magnitude earthquake that's killed more than 5,000 people. And support is pouring in all across the country. Here in the valley, the community is coming together to hold a candlelight vigil. The Nepalese student organization Kshatriya is organizing the event to pay tribute to the deceased and honor those who survived. If you'd like to attend the event, you sure can. It starts at 9 p.m. and it's in front of Menard Hall at NDSU. Still ahead for us at 5, Ford recalls several models of its vehicles because of steering issues in some cars.
Very dry and the fire danger quite high. At least the radar is showing some signs of rain. I'll have details on where it's heading and how much we may receive coming up next.